I have had enough of this life. We all came to Canada because we were promised better opportunities, security and a better life. But here, we are working in this factory for poverty wages, on-call, flexible shifts, health and safety concerns, and without any stability or security for our jobs.
Shh, be quiet. The supervisor or manager will hear you and then you will lose your job.
But that is exactly the problem. They treat us as disposable. We all are being exploited because we need money to pay the rent and afford to live in Toronto.
It is so difficult to live in this city. I was told that Toronto has all the support, but I don't see it. Every day it seems that the prices are going up for rent, food and basic necessities. I could barely afford my necessity before the pandemic, but now I am not. I am afraid that I will be evicted very soon with no place to go with my young children.
What kind of life is this?
I am also struggling, but unlike you too, I don't have permanent status. Every day I am struggling to access support, but I am excluded from everything. If I lost this job, then I have absolutely nothing. I heard that after you get permanent status, you can get more support.
I know it is very difficult for you right now, but trust me when I say this, we all are in the same situation and same uncertainties. I am sorry to say that the safety nets that are supposed to support us is not responsive. And I have been on waitlist for housing more than 8 years and no luck yet. I was also turned away from WSIB when I was got injured in my workplace, and I could not apply for EI when I was needed that. And the social assistance is now nowhere near enough. Who knows what will happen when I will get retired, because my CPP will not support that enough.
What about doctors, education and childcare, other social support?
I lost my family doctor before the pandemic because she retired. To this day, I do not have a family doctor because there is no space. I also went to the hospital the other day because my son was sick, but we had to wait in line for more than 8 hours. And school and childcare, yes, education, school are free, but no childcare. Can you imagine? I lost my childcare subsidy because I lost my job before the pandemic and I was staying at home. Now, still today, I am struggling to renew it and get back on the long waiting list for childcare.
All social support safety nets have holes in them, and the hole is growing day by day. More and more people are falling through, but there is no conversation about how to close them.
What is this? Because of the economic and political uncertainties and environmental disaster, I and my family member were struggling to save and secure being back home. I was told that if I can't come to Canada, then I could find some security. I am going through this difficult and inhuman immigration process while draining myself and my family's minimal resources, since I am not eligible for safety nets. We are doing all this because we were told that we can finally find the safety and security we were looking for after getting permanent status. Now you are telling me that my situation may not change?
I am saying that while your and my situation is different, that at the end of the day, we are all in the same boat. Our needs and realities are being neglected. We are being told to be patient because there are budget deficiency and crisis.
But communities like ours are always been in the uncertainties. There are always deficiency, shortfalls and problems to address the livelihood concerns.
But don't you know, there are always seems to be money where there is a war to fund.
What do you mean?
Yes, billions of dollars are being sent to fund genocides and wars with our tax money. There was no consultation, no consent from the public to take this action. This is what they do. They starve and beat us here, and they take money to starve and beat the people around the world. Meanwhile, this action also hurt us here. They call black, brown and Arabic people are terrorists, uncivilized and barbaric.
So many people keep saying that we need to address racism. But this is how they make the racism worse. They promote anti-racism in the workplace and in public spaces. But the colonial and imperialist strategies don't change. They worsen the existing racism, Islamophobia, xenophobia, and other kinds of discrimination. The other day, our manager was saying such racist things about agency hires like us, even saying that we are taking other people's jobs and houses. I wonder from where he heard that from.
Oh, that person is so horrible. Not only that, I heard if he fired a woman who needed some personal time to leave an abusive relationship. Poor woman had nowhere to go. Last I heard she was trying to get into the shelters, but I don't know, I hear that they are full nowadays.
I know her, she is my neighbor. The situation was too bad. To be honest, I was the one who suggested her to do something about the abuse. Really, no one should be treated like this way in their family. But I didn't know if she left home, there would be no support or services for her. Not only are existing services like shelters and legal clinics are overcrowded, but because of her immigration status, it became even more complicated. I was told that Canada would be a safe place for women, but she keeps getting turned away from the support. How does anyone feel safe in this situation?
It is true that no one should be treated in their family, but no one should be stranded during such difficult times. It is not your fault for telling her to leave. It is our society's fault for not supporting her.
It is true what you said. Our situations are different, but in the end, we all are struggling to lead a decent and dignified life. How do we address this? What do we do?
You know, it is not that there are no solutions of this problem. In our communities and communities across Toronto, we are seeing that people are coming up with solutions to address these issues. These solutions are coming from the front lines, those with the lived experience of those problems. These solutions have been there for years too.
We know the solutions to this budget, logistical and political problems that employers and policymakers are failing to address. It is time that our voices are heard. It is time that we have systems that meet the needs of people like us.